Welcome to Eat Your Backyard, my YouTube channel where I talk about all kinds of things which interest me in terms of ornamental tropical things and fruit things. And you might notice it's a little windy today here on Eat Your Backyard, my YouTube channel. The reason is we have Tropical Storm Alberto, depending on how you look at it, spinning in the Gulf of Mexico, roughly at the same line of latitude as my house, and so it's windy. It's going to get about probably 20, maybe 30 mile an hour winds today. Nothing serious. We don't batten down the hatches. We don't run around waving our hands in the air and screaming that it's the end of all happiness, because we were spared the bullet this time. You know, this time of year, the end of May, we get our first usually visits from tropical storms, and this is the first one, but it's in good shape. Right now it's in good shape to leave us alone, but it'll be windy and rainy here for a little while. And today I thought I'd just kind of wander around and see what's happening and really focus down on some interesting things that are happening. Now, look at this plant. It looks like a fern, actually. And we're going to talk about this type of plant. I believe this is called zinnia, but it is a very interesting type of plant that actually grows seed pods. I grew this from a seed. It gets a little bigger than this, and it's a relative of the cardboard plant. And I'll show you what the cardboard plant looks like. And this is just a weird variety. Oh, look. It's coming back to life. I trimmed it way back. A weird variety of plant that the reason they call it cardboard is because the leaves are very stiff. You can see that very odd quality to the leaves, like cardboard, of course, which is why they call it cardboard plant. It's just very bizarre. And they do grow these big kind of seed structures that drop seeds and actually grow seeds. Very, very easy to grow them from scratch. They can look really good in Florida, really interesting, just because they have that. It's almost like a fern, but it's, I think, far better than a fern in that it's more distinct. But you have to be willing to trim them pretty heavily to get them to stay looking good. Now this one I trimmed all the way back to no leaves, and now it's coming back. That's another quality of these plants, is that you can stubble them down to nothing and they come right back. Now this larger variety, the cardboard plant, unlike the zinnia that's over here, and by the way, forgive me if I get it wrong, the name of it, but I think that's the name of it. Unlike that other variety, this variety has an aspect to it that you might find less charming. It has little spikes along the base. Now, you probably weren't planning on, running through a patch of these things, but, if you were, it would definitely scratch you up pretty severely. It's interesting when it's first growing in, when it's mature, it has this green, it's a better shot, when it has this really unique, this consistent green glossiness to the leaves. As it's growing in, though, it has this red fuzziness to it. Thought I was getting bit. I'm constantly getting bitten by the world out here, by spiders and so on. But you can see that it has a fuzziness, and it's very tender, of course, as it's growing in. But it likes to be trimmed back, and I think it reinvigorates it. Now I've seen patches of this where they let it get 3 to 5 inches, 3 to 5 feet wide, gigantic clumps. It's less interesting to me in that variety. So that's why I trim it back and just try to promote it. Staying small, but also being one kind of specimen in the yard. But yeah, that's cardboard plant. Not really, this is not the greatest example of it, but if you can imagine this, look, where I was just looking, this smaller, that's about what it looks like, but the cardboard plant probably gets about 3 feet tall. This will be very low to the ground. And all of these things I just grew from seeds. And I have some other videos that show the seeds of these plants, but really just an interesting plant to have in your yard, this cardboard plant. And you got a few different options if you wanted something low like this. I've seen this used around the borders of different, landscaping applications. I have kind of an ad hoc, plant something here, this kind of eclectic way of doing landscaping. Or, obviously I wouldn't have anything like this ridiculous thing in my yard, which is intended for children to climb into the tree fort and play. But, my yard's very kind of playful, and definitely not following any of the normal constraints of landscaping ideals, which you might be into. But yeah, cardboard plant, very interesting option. One I would hope you would explore. I've heard that there's some kind of edible aspect to something here. I wouldn't do it. I'd say don't eat anything off of it. But this one in particular, I've heard is edible, but I don't know that, so don't go eating it. But if you know something about that, you might leave something in the comments. And by the way, if you like videos like this, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Eat Your Backyard. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment if you have a comment. And thank you for watching Eat Your Backyard.